Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's everyone doing tonight? Happy Wednesday. It's December the 14th, 2022. A couple more weeks before the new year, baby. So, hope everyone's excited for the new year. Looking forward to today's conversation. Uh, you know, as we progress in our journey and take on contracts, take on opportunities, talking to folks out there, we just want to let people know that this is a possibility, but sometimes, right, there may be some instances with some of you where it doesn't really quite make sense. And so I want to talk about that today, give folks out there a chance to show up. So we'll do that. I know it's a couple minutes early. We're starting at 7:05. So just warming up. Anybody got any questions, comments, anything else we want to talk about before we jump in to the conversation today? So I'm excited. Like I said, follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. Those are my handles below. If you have any questions about anything that we have, my number is going to be on the screen the whole time. So that's my number on the screen. You can call our office about any questions that you have about our programs, starting with us, working with us. If you want to bring a deal to us and you're like, hey, I've got a deal I want to bring to you, look, let us know. Give us a call. It's really important out there that we are creating a community of people that want to work together and that want to do deals and want to do business and want to make money and want to be successful so they can take care of their families and they can do whatever other, explore their vices and, whatever else things you guys like to do out there. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Give us a call. Send us a message. We've got people standing by waiting to answer your questions. Let us know. If you're not on our email list, join our email list. We have been hacked, so we've been down a little bit. But right now, who's watching, who's out there, tell us what it is that you do. Tell us about your organization. Let us know who you are, what you do, what city you're from. I see 14 people live. Tell us about that while we're waiting for everybody else to join us. All right. And we'll just take some questions before we jump into today's lesson. Talk to me out there. Like I said, Wednesday is always interactive. So this is interactive today. Just to let people know how it works. All right, cool. Makes sense. You see something that should work. All right. Who do we have? Who's out there today? 16 people watching. Hit the thumbs up. Tell us who's out there watching. Tell me your name. Tell us your organization. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Tyrone Williams says, do you subcontracting with small businesses? We subcontract with all businesses. So the answer is yes. We do subcontract with all businesses out there. All right, Eric, it's PB LLC in Washington, D.C., and I do leasing of commercial real estate. I'm loving the course, and I'm learning so much. Great stuff. Tamara Price says, I purchased your course in Udemy. Is it still valid today? So, Tamara, yes, it's still valid. However, remember that program in Udemy is a program that we sell. It's very similar to my free course that we offer. That's why it's the price that you found it on Udemy. And so essentially what it's going to do is just going to explain to you how government contracting works, which for many people today, that's actually one of the lessons we're going to discuss. That's super, super important. So Yes, it's still valid today. To be honest with you, most of the stuff in the government contracting realm, just for everybody to know, it even though the rules may change a lot, the way that you do business with the government does not change. So a lot of the times, what we'll see is yes, they may move from FBO to SAM.gov, but the way that you use those portals, the way that you do the research, the way that you use the information, all is the same. By the way, thank you, Tamara. Tyrone Williams, HHC LLC. We specialize in doing what other companies don't like: debris removal and ground maintenance. Tyrone, where are you from, brother? Tell us where you're from so we know how we can support and help you out there. 25 people watching. Make sure you hit the like button. Also, tell us the name of your organization. Tell me the city. I want to know the city that you guys are from so that we can support you. And also, if it doesn't say on there your name, we love to know that as well. So just tell us what you guys do and the city that you're in, as well as your name if it's not clearly displayed. All right. Oliver says EG Enterprises, online sales, Louisiana. Teddy Jackson, painting out of Chicago. Franklin from New York City. Kinship Solutions, construction field, electrical. All right. That number is our number on the screen. Charles, Aloha, business development, international distributor for insulated metal panels and road repair solutions. Who else? Who else out there? Who else do we have? Who else do we have? All right. I think it'll be an interesting discussion tonight. Like I said, I'm always, saying all the positive things, but it seems like, again, when I'm telling people all the positive stuff, it doesn't really necessarily connect. So sometimes we have to present the information in a different way so that people can get the drift and they can get off their butts and start making a change. By the way, because tonight is Wednesday, we do invite people to come up to the stage and ask questions. So as I get started, in about another minute or two, we will invite folks to come up and to the stage and ask questions. And so this is your night. This is your chance, your opportunity to talk to me directly and ask questions. If you're not in any of our programs out there, this is your chance to do so. If you're just joining us, that is our number on the screen. Eat Coffee. Follow us on all social media platforms. We've got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, which I actually love that because you get to see the other side of me that's not so like cut and dry and rigid. So we actually have a lot of fun. And if you get a chance to go to any of our events, make sure that you go. If there's an event that I'm going to be at and it's close by your area, please show up and say hi because I tell you what, we have a lot of fun. And yes, we do deals, but at the same time, we have fun like everybody else. So we cut up, we know how to, show out, and we have a good time. So I'm just telling you, you would definitely appreciate it if you saw us in person at a live event. Tony Caseda, Yonkers, Elixir, LTA, Flatbed, Hotshot, Freight Transportation, Northeast. Love the content, Eric. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you. Lisa Hines out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Lane Logistics. Seems like we always got a lot of people in trucking. I love that. All right. Latoya Halsey, Janitorial Services. Where are you from, Latoya? Let us know. All right. Ibrahim, Indianapolis, trucking. Love it. Good stuff. All right. So again, like I said, today's topic, we're going to jump in. 5 reasons why government contracting may not be right for you. I actually like this topic because, interesting enough, I get a lot of questions from people out here, and they're always like, after 5 years of doing this, you see probably about 60, 70% of the same questions, maybe even as high as 80% of the same questions. And so I just want to go through this so that you can have this information and share it with your friends, family, people maybe you don't like or do like, because ultimately, at the end of the day, my job is to help you be successful. And so as I'm putting together I'm putting together right now, literally proposals with organizations on how we could support them and their training efforts and endeavors. What we talk about is the areas where we've had success. However, in order to discuss the areas we had success, we also highlight the areas where, people constantly run into challenges and problems. And so, these are some of the things that I see. I'm sure we're going to miss some things out there. Like I said, welcome. Hit the like button if you haven't already hit the like button. Rashid DC does printing, clothing, seeking government contracts 2023. Good job, Rashid. My man Charles has hit the like button. Give me some love. Latoya, see, you're from Gainesville, Florida. All right. See, that makes a big deal. That's Latoya, that makes a difference, right? Because I went to school at University of Florida, so I went to school in Gainesville. And so that makes a huge difference when you tell us where you're from. See that? We got somebody from Duval County. Big Boots, handyman out of Duval. See, Latoya, see now, Latoya, you know Duval. So you can identify with that. But if he didn't put that in there and you didn't put what you were in there, you guys couldn't even connect. So we got Big Boots, handyman out of Jacksonville, then Latoya from Gainesville, moved to South Carolina. All right. So let's just talk for a bit. Like I said, that's my number on the screen. If you have any questions, send us an email. Here's the email on the screen now. If you're interested in our programs, we are going to be closing out before December 31st. All right. We're closing out our programs before December 31st. Please do not. I know you're going to do it anyways. I'm still going to say it anyways. Every time we all open up for a new group, right, on January the 1st or whatever, the day after the closing out, people are calling us and they're saying the credit card didn't go through. They tried to do it. The payment didn't happen. We hear the stories. Don't be those person. Don't be that person. I know you're going to be that person anyways, but I'm just telling you, don't do that. All right. Here's the information, the link on the screen to join. And like I said, we'll go back in. And if you want to join tonight's call, here's the StreamYard link that you can click on and jump up here and join. See, Latoya, you see, now we got a connection going on. All right. And some of my people are on the screen as well. All right, 5 reasons why government contract may not be right for you. Consumer product, right? What does that mean, consumer product? Anybody know the difference between B2C, B2B, and B2G, right? So, for example, on the screen, people come to me and maybe they have an antique furniture dealership. That's great. We love that you have an antique furniture dealership, but the government doesn't really buy antique furniture. And so, while I'm very happy and you probably have a successful business, it might be geared towards consumers and not towards the government. And so a lot of times people call me up and they ask me questions and their business are geared towards consumers, or like Charles said, his business is selling to other businesses. So that's a really big deal that I see a lot of companies are making that mistake, thinking that they can transition their business that sells to residential customers. Again, we mentioned, someone said it on here, they do real estate. That's great. Maybe you sell real estate to people, right? If you are a residential home seller, but the government does not buy residential homes. So that would not translate into a government contracting business. The other thing is sometimes people make software that's made for users, like for your house, right? And so that doesn't necessarily translate to the government because the government has very specific needs and there are very specific applications that they're looking for in terms of software. I used to sell hair salon software for hair salons, and so it managed your hair salon and the ladies when you bought products and services and goods, right? Then it would help you refill that inventory. Well, it was designed for hair salons. And so while it was great for that industry, it doesn't necessarily translate into the government sector. So a big challenge that I see, a lot of people that are coming into this, I know that we have someone on here, I don't know if she's on tonight, but she sells children's books, which are wonderful. But unless the government is doing some sort of project where they are providing to another country, where they're trying to provide educational services to another country, or they are doing something like that where maybe there's a storm and they're filling that in, then it's just not something that they regularly buy. And so a lot of times people that are new to this marketplace, they end up bumping their head because they're like trying to shove their consumer product down the government's throat. And that's not a winning strategy. So I definitely, I definitely want to say to you, if this is something that you're looking to get into, you got to find a product or a service that the government buys. And so just keep that in mind. B2C, B2B versus B2G. And so again, I just want people to be aware of that, because when they come to me and say, Eric, well, does the government buy that? That's on you to do that research. But the fact that, people say the government buys everything, they kind of buy like almost everything, right? So yes, and they might buy a children's book, but if they buy it and it's only one time out of 20 years, does the government really buy children's books? So I just want to say that out there is the first thing. New invention and unproven technology. And so this is huge, right? This is a big deal, because people come to me all the time with their new technologies out there. And by the way, 50 people that are just joining us now, make sure you hit the like button. We're discussing, right, 5 reasons why government contracting may not be right for you. That's today's topic. So if you have not already, let us know who you are, the organization, like your company, and what is it that you do. Drop that in the chat so we can plug you in as well. And at the same time, like I said, I will be answering questions and bringing people up towards the end of the session. So I definitely want to have a dialogue with some folks out here, answer some questions that you may have related to the government contract industry, because we typically do that on Wednesday. So I did want to go through this topic, and then we can start engaging, having some dialogue. Fair? All right. All right. New invention, unproven technology. Yeah, that's a big deal. A lot of times people have this wonderful, wonderful idea, right? And they're like, yeah, man, the government, man, this thing would be perfect for the government. And I had a call today with one of our new students that just signed up this month. And he said to me, Eric, I want to sell cybersecurity services to the government. Cool. I go, but you've never sold cybersecurity services to the government. I go, okay, so you really want our government to allow you, who have zero experience selling cybersecurity, you want them to be able to touch our national databases, right? Which your computer systems that have not been scrubbed, have not been checked, have not been verified. Ain't gonna happen. And so it's the same thing with people that are coming to the government with new technology and inventions, that you want them to test that on pilots, on helicopters, on equipment, on databases with all of our social security numbers on it. Why would they do that? So while there is a pathway to go down for technologies such as OTAs and BAAs and SIBRs and STTRs, that's not what the government is buying, right? So they don't buy technology. They give grant money to test technology. And there's a process to go through to prove that it works, and to go through to make sure that it's not going to put anybody in danger, or you're not a Russian hack or anything like that, or you're not a terrorist. However, and again, we're speaking about federal here. In general, they're not out buying inventions off the shelf, right? That's just not something that they've been good at traditionally over the time that the government's been in business. It's not something that they do. So, excuse me for that. I just want to say that because that's something that people come to me all the time. It's like, man, I've got this brand new company, and I'm like, I'm sorry, the government's risk averse. All right, square peg in a round hole, right? How many of you are out there trying to fit your square peg in a round hole? Anybody knows? All right, let's talk about that. So one of the things that I see a lot of people do, right, and I've got an example for this, right, is that I had a student that he did social media, right? I think someone here says they do printing, and this particular person says that he does social media, right? Which is cool. All right, you do social media, and he helps, right? Does like your websites, and he does your branding and all that kind of jazz, which is cool. And so he was going after this government bid where the government said, hey, they're looking for 5 people. It was social media, it fit his NAC code and all this stuff. And it was marked as social media, but they were looking for 5 people that specialize in social media. And they wanted you to provide the 5 people. So when I talked to him, he said he didn't bid the job. And I said, well, why didn't you bid the job? He says, because they were looking for me to give them 5 people from my staff that do social media to work with the government. I go, okay, well, that's how they buy their social media. And so he's like, well, that's not how I sell it. I go, okay. I go, well, how do you sell it? He goes, well, they pay me and I do it for them with my staff. I said, but that's, you cannot, and again, square peg, round hole. You can't force them to buy it the way that you want because that's the way that you sell it. You have to adjust to them, not the other way around. You want to do business with them, so you got to do it the way they want to do it. So many of you out there, entrepreneurs, are like banging your head against the wall because you're like, well, they don't do it that way. Well, that's fine. Then don't do business with them. That's not. It's look, you are the one that needs a contract. Yes, they would love to work with you, but they're not going to adjust the way that they do business with you. Another example, I have another student of mine that very sharp person. She does video services, right? And so she creates video and content. And the government put out a solicitation looking for someone to create some curated video content. However, she had to send a previous video that she had done as an example. And she said no, she didn't want to do that because that was her property rights, and she didn't want to provide that to the government at no charge. Okay. I don't know what y'all want me to tell you. Okay. Don't do it. So she found out that didn't jive with her. So she didn't do it. Didn't make me mad. I don't really care. But I'm just saying, like, you or people out here watching are coming to me, and this is the things that you're doing, and then you're wondering why, like, it's not working out for you. And so, again, I say this because this is what people out here do. And this is what I see all the time. And I'm like, I don't even know what to tell people as advice anymore because I don't set the rules. Like I don't make up any of these rules. Everything that I'm telling you is the way that the government operates. It's not Eric Coffie doesn't get a chance to write the rules. I just get to share with you how they work and how to navigate them. So that's what I'm doing. All right. Someone says, hello, can you bid on any contracts that's outside of your industry? Absolutely, Lisa. You can bid on any government contract that you want to. No one will ever stop you from bidding. They also won't pay you for all your time that you waste on bidding contracts that's not within a specialty or that you do not have an advantage of. And so the challenge becomes, right? And by the way, thank you for this question. The challenge becomes, which contracts do you have an advantage that you may have some sort of specialized knowledge? Maybe you've got a person that's been doing this for a long period of time. So what contracts do you have an opportunity that where you believe you may have advantage so that you're not wasting your time? Because what we do as small businesses, a lot of the time is we don't value our time. And so we chase all this stuff out here without being strategic. And then we wonder why it's not working for us. So that's, but there is no one telling you cannot bid contracts. All right. Tyrone said, is it okay just to go for firm fixed price contracts? Sure, Tyrone. Absolutely. You can go firm fixed price contracts all day of the week. How do we find what the government buys? Tips on researching this. Thanks. Excellent question. Right. And I'll save that. Well, you know what? So I'll write it down. Matter of fact, I got a better one, reaching higher. Everyone in here, tell Reaching Higher, how do we find what the government buys? All right. How do you research that? Tell them on there. All right. I mean, I don't have 10,000 disabled vet fixed income, but I want your course. My course is not $10,000, by the way. You can get started on a 6-month plan for as low as $799. The annual plan is $1,500, but you can get started for $799 for the 6-month plan. All right, back to the question. Can we drop in the comments, how does he find out what the government buys? By the way, 60 people watching. Make sure 60 people hit the like button. Robert, come on. Come on. How does he find out what the government buys? Target market list? Come on. Somebody. Where's all of my Sylvia Bird source of thought? No. How does he find out what the government buys? Where are my people at? Where are my students? Target market research. No, Teddy. Come on, Teddy. That's not how you find out what buys. That's the process. Where does he go? Thank you, Stephanie. USA spending is one of the sources. What's the other one? Come on. You guys are throwing around acronyms. You're not telling people where to go. USA spending. No, not on the website, Lisa Hines. No, not Small Business Agency. Thank you, Franklin Phillips. FPDS. Yes, USA spending and FPDS. That's where you can go out and do your research. Yes, it is called target market research, Teddy and Robert, but it's not where you go. All right. Go back to my presentation over here. All right. So there you go. That's where you find out where the government buys, USA and FPDS. And we got books on that. Square peg, round hole. Think you could buy your way into the marketplace. It seems crazy, but a lot of people out here believe that they can simply pay their way in. Huh? How do you do that? But believe it or not, I've had people, they bought my course, they bought 2 other people's courses. They've signed up for state bid sites. They signed up for all this stuff, right? And then when I ask them, hey, have you done any lessons? Have you done any work? Oh, no. You cannot just buy certifications, buy licenses, you can't just put yourself on a GSA schedule, buy your 8A, buy your veteran service. You can't just buy all this stuff and expect it to work. Unfortunately, no amount of money will get you past the scrutiny of the RFP and the RFQ process. Yes, even if someone physically gives you a contract, right? At some point, you're going to have to learn how to win contracts. I have a student of ours that his family member bought a company out of bankruptcy, and they took over that company. Cost a lot of money, and the government started getting them contracts, right? But they never learn how to get contracts. So at the end of the day, this guy never knew how to get a government contract. He never learned to do it. He never learned how to do it. So, fast forward 5 years, 6 years, 7 years later, he still doesn't know how to win contracts because he never learned. So there's no quick fix. You have to, right? You got to get with people that can help you expedite the process, that help you accelerate your learning. You need to be plugged in with a community of folks that can support you. But at the end of the day, you still have to understand this stuff, right? So again, Willie Cheeseboro says, where do I go for starters? I have a course, freegovconcourse.com. I don't have it on here. Hold on. Let me create it real quick for you, Willie. All right. So Willie, you can go right there, freegovconcourse.com. That's a great place to start, right? That's something that we have for free. Just go there, put your name, email in there, and we'll take you through basically a starter place, right? So there you go. That's where you go to start. All right. Yeah, we're gonna look. By the way, like I said, if you are just joining us, 62 people watching, hit the like button. Also, I'm gonna drop this in here so we can get people to come up and ask questions. So here's the StreamYard link. We're gonna wrap up this particular topic, and then we're gonna have a conversation with some folks out here. And then the last thing, you don't know what you're doing, right? It's so crazy to me when people say, that they want a contract, but they don't want to learn what it takes to do a contract or to get a contract or to keep a contract. And so while I'm on the side of anyone could do this, I mean that anyone could learn how to do this. That's my distinction. Anyone can do this if they take the time to learn how to do this. I'm not saying anyone could do this if you just show up, bid a job, right, and then try to figure it out on your own. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying anyone can do this if they take the time to learn and to study what it is that they need to do. That's my distinction. So for me, there's so many people out here that, again, if you were trying to sell your air conditioning services and you could not sell them to a residential customer, somebody had a house, they wouldn't hire you to put the air conditioning in. Why would you want the government to hire you to put air conditioning in? If you're trying to sell cybersecurity services and you can't get customers to pay for you in a regular marketplace, why would you want the government to pay for you to do that? So I just don't understand people's logic. If you can't provide that service to a friend or a family member or someone that knows you, that trusts you, why would you then think that the government should give you a chance? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I think that that should be your litmus test, right? Whatever area you consider to be your expertise, janitorial or anything like that. Why have you not tried to do that with a friend or a family or someone like that first? Because if you can't even get past that process of someone that knows you for a long time, getting you to use your business, then why would you expect the government to be the one to take the first chance on you? Right. And so I think a lot of times we don't consider that because we're only thinking about the money side. We're not thinking, hey, this is kind of like a big deal. And yeah, I'm asking them if I can go wash a jet. Maybe you've washed cars before. But maybe before you go ask the government, can you wash their planes? Right? Maybe you should go ask like a local car dealership if you can wash some of their cars. I'm just saying, based on my experiences, what people are doing out here, and when I get these calls and I get these messages, I mean, people sound kind of crazy. So I just want to say that because, and then Steph, I see we got somebody in the back office. We're going to pull her up to the stage because people are not considering sometimes when they say things, how crazy it sounds when they say it out loud. So I want people to get that through their head is that, if you're going to go experiment someplace else, right? And then once you've done that, then you're like, okay, I think now that I'm ready, that I've done this a couple times, I know how to price it. I see where I've had some downfalls. Then it might make sense to sell to the government. But if you've never sold nothing to anyone ever, you've never worked in that field, you do not have that expertise. You do not have anyone that you know that has the expertise. Why should anyone give you a shot? So what do I do? How do you combat that? That's the question. Stephanie, I see you back here. I see her, lost her face. All right, there you go. Let me bring Stephanie up. She might have something to say. Let me bring her up on this.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi,
I'll make
Eric.
you bigger. How are you?
I'm doing well. I just doing my target market list.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, I'm in Eric's course and I have 9 to 10 agencies on my list. Is that too many?
No.
Okay. That was what I wanted to know. Because I think you were like between 5 and 10, I think you said.
I just need to start with that.
Okay.
No, 9 to 10. That's nothing.
That's good. Okay, good. Because that's
Yeah.
what we're gonna start. That I've had a meeting with one OSDBU so far. I have another meeting at the beginning of the year with another OSDBU, and it's been going well. So I'm
How,
going.
tell me about the meeting. Tell us how the meet. What happened in the meeting?
So yeah, so I had a meeting. It was with the EPA.
Okay.
They're not on my target market list, but I had some actually in what do you Mighty Networks? I think that's what we call
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Somebody mentioned that the EPA was looking for some folks and they had my NAICS code on there. So I said, well, let me just reach out to them and see what they have going on. They're not on my target market list, but figured I might as well reach out to them.
Okay.
I got their vendors list and it went pretty well. She gave me some other people that I should contact. She came from another agency. She came from USDA and
Yep.
she gave me some people that I should contact over there. And she's like, give them my name. And if they don't respond back to you, tell them that I said so. Like she was very nice.
Uh-huh.
So that went really well.
That's
And then,
awesome.
yeah, so then I have another one coming up in January with the NOAA, I believe.
Yeah. Noah.
Yep. So I have one coming up with them in
They're on your
January.
list. They're on your list.
Now they are on my list.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they are
All
on my
right.
list. So
Now let me ask you this:
mhm,
when you were setting up to talk to them
mhm.
at EPA, how hard was that?
Not her.
I mean, no. I mean, listen. I want you to like people are like. I mean, you know.
No, it's not hard. I mean, if you go through again, Eric kind of has a lot of stuff listed out in detail. And let me just say for the folks who are thinking about joining Eric's course, it's not a course. Like
No, it's not
so
a course.
people talk about how they have like courses or whatever. This is not a course. I've been
Yeah.
in Eric's course probably for 2 years, and
Right.
he like it keeps going and going. I log in and I'll log off for a while, come back, and I'm like at 60% or so 50%. I'm like, how did I get here? I thought
That's
I was
right.
almost done. So
No, it's not a course, and it's hard to
it's
describe
not.
it. It's more like an academy. That's why I say
It
academy
yeah,
because it's it's essentially like 23 programs in one,
yeah.
and so
And so for me, how I do it can be overwhelming,
right
but how I did it, I went to the course sections as I needed them. So
there you
I
go.
try to
Right,
go through the whole entire course because
right,
it's a lot of information. So as
right.
I needed something, I went to it. So I was getting ready to do my target market list. So I studied that
That's it.
particular piece.
Right,
And then, okay, after I did my target market list, then I studied, okay, well, then once you get ready to talk to or set up your meeting with OSDBU, I did that. And so
right,
every time I needed something along the way, I just went
right,
to the course and then studied that. So that
right.
way it just wasn't
Yeah.
over.
Right. No, it's not something that you go through from start to finish like
No,
that. It's more of a resource guide that you use as you are approaching this particular area of your business.
I'm on live. As you need it.
Right.
So that was you remember my husband, he just walked into the room.
Oh
Will.
yeah, but yeah, I know Will. Of course, I know Will.
um
But tell Will we on live. We can't be talking to
That's
him
what
on
I was
live.
like. It's really helpful and for people who and I jumped on your call late, but I know you were saying like there's no shortcut. Like I
Right.
know there's a lot of people on the internet that just say like, oh, it's easy, just go on Sam and bid and you'll win a contract.
Right.
That's not how it works. It's
No,
easy to say and it's easy to sell,
right.
but to do it like I was looking at forecast list last night and I was exhausted.
Right.
Like it's a lot of work.
Right. Sure. Sure.
It's a
No,
lot-
but at the same time, once funny. Do you remember the story with my brother and the landscaping
the
janitor? I mean,
landscape,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's funny. I talked to him this week, and he just picked up another contract, right, at the same
Wow.
place. So now he's repairing one of the buildings. He's repairing some sort of a vent hood contract. But again, he's doing a good job down there, and the people like him, so they keep using him. But you were going to ask me another question about your target market list and about the agencies. You remember?
So I think I just wanted to make sure that having 10 agencies
10 is
wasn't
nothing.
okay, wasn't too many to try to go deep into. And one thing that I did too, I kind of expanded my services a little bit.
Okay.
So I added like admin staffing
Okay.
because a lot of it, what I did with my own business is that I had to staff it. So I'm like, well, I understand how to staff because I had to staff my own business. It's
Right.
just the same principles apply.
Right.
You're just maybe staffing for just different positions. So then that opened me up to different targets and audiences that I can go after because now I have this skill set and I can talk about how I have that
But
skill
you've
set.
won contracts.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, but I mean nobody knows that.
Oh, and that helps as well, obviously.
Yeah, you won
I have won
contracts.
a couple of contracts. So then I have the language to say I won contract with the Air Force and the Army. And then now I have these other skill sets that I can bring to the table going into 2023. So
There you go. No, I love it. I love
yeah.
it. Hold on. Before you jump off, let me see
Yeah.
something. Someone says, all right. So Lisa said, I just received my small business women owned minority certifications today.
Oh, great.
All right. And then let's see. But that was not a question. I was looking for a question.
Yay, Lisa.
Hold on. So Lisa says, can you put the link to the EPA in the chat, please? And thank you. So Lisa, you can actually find that information, right? So where she found it was, and we have this on all of our YouTube channels, right? It's federalhelpcenteronline.com. Marie, can you put that in there? Free, can you put it into the Mighty Networks link, please, in the chat so that Lisa can be part of that group and find out how she can get access to that information. All right. So then that way, Lisa, we can you could be in the group and get the information yourself and not have to wait for Stephanie or anybody else to give it to you. You can actually start interacting with the folks on here.
Yeah, and then like I think you probably said it before. All this information is online. Like it's not a secret.
No,
like it's online. It's not. I only looked at EPA because someone mentioned that they were looking for people in my next code, and then I just did research.
Yeah.
To find who the OSDBU was, but it's all out there. You just have, like Eric said, you just have to know who you want because there's 1,000 agencies. So you just have to figure out who you want to target because you can't talk to every OSDBU.
Right, Lisa, exactly. So what Stephanie is saying again, you know, you can't just really chase the agency that someone gave you a name for because they may not buy what you sell.
Right.
And so that's not a strategy, right? So again, like Maria says, you know, we're being part of our community. You're always going to get new information, inside information, so we can help plug you in to some of those people that you do need to be connected with. So that's great. By the way, staffing, we definitely should talk more about that. Because I have someone recently, but he's doing staffing in IT. So yeah. But if you're looking at doing what administrative support programs for,
administrative and like project management.
So Lori Sales and Mama You podcast.
Oh, okay.
Those are the two.
Okay.
Lori Sales.
And you know what, Lori, I saw her on your podcast, and I hit her up recently on because she's from Chicago and Will's from Chicago, and so I hit her up. She was like, "Tell my homeboy Will I said hi." She was so nice. And so I listened to her podcast, and then you said Mama You. I remember that one, but I'll have to go back and watch it.
I think we just re-released her podcast, Mama You, because she told me that she got her 8A at 60 years old. So she says never too late.
No, it's not. Good for Mama You.
No, and Mama You is very, very sweet. I talked to her personally. She actually talks to my mom. So we actually have that kind of relationship. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So I've been supporting her as well. So
thank
you so much. I love it. No, I love it. Anybody else has any questions for Stephanie before she signs up, since she was brave enough to come up here? And I'm very happy that my people are getting brave to come on here, because that's how you're going to connect the dots, right? So, you know, that's how. Next time, though, you got to put on here your company name so people can look you up.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to do that. I'm trying to get better at doing those things. But if no one else has any questions, I just wanted to be helpful and let you guys know that it is very possible, but it's just a lot of work. And I think that's the thing that scares people, I think, is because it's a lot of work. And if you aren't ready for the work, this is your cup of tea.
Right, it's not your cup of tea. Yeah, no, I agree with you. So, Yep. But no, we will be one other thing I will mention that I just found out. I'm going to be hosting a large business, and this is for everybody's. We're going to be hosting a large business event. I'm going to tell you right now. Randy just sent it to me. Hold on. Yeah, I'll keep asking Stephanie questions. Y'all scared of Stephanie. All right, hold on. All right, so the VA, for all of my veterans out there, the VA has a program called Direct Access Program. And what they're doing is, this is with the Office of Small Businesses at the VA hospital. So if the VA is one of your potential target market clients, they are doing a large business event. And Maria, we got to write this up. Okay. There's a large business event. The registration is open. And you can visit it at vetbiz.va.gov. All right. And it's essentially large business that's looking for small business partners that are already working with the VA hospital. All right. So it's called a large engagement event with VA DAP. Now, why is this important? Because I'm leading the event. I don't even know what it is, but I'm leading the event. But I know that we are, because I do know what it is. I just don't know the names of it. I've got to reference my phone, but we have a large business partner. And so we are now going to be looking at working with veteran-owned businesses that currently have experience working with the VA hospitals and expanding their capabilities. So we're putting that event on in conjunction with Direct Access Program, Choose VA, in their small business office. And you can visit vetbiz.va.gov to get more information on it. But I'm going to be hosting an event. So I'm going to be the one talking and teaching and looking at the small business partners and choosing, right? Because somebody said, do we do subcontract with small businesses? I'm going to be picking who we working with.
Nice. So I have a question about that. That sounds amazing. So the VA is actually on my target market list. I'm not a veteran. So is that something that I can do, or they want them to be veteran business?
They typically want you to be veterans.
Okay. No problem. But I'm sure it's going to be a great event. So all you veterans, make sure you guys go.
They want you to be veterans.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to find the event and then I'll share it with everybody.
Okay. That sounds like it's going to be great.
Yeah. All right. Anybody? We're good? There's plenty of work for truckers. Do your research. Let's see. Hold on. I want, listen, when I have a woman up here, I want other people to ask questions. Before you look, I've been working since June. I'm a veteran business, especially waiting on WSB. I'm waiting on next military scholarship. Okay. All right. No question. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, Stephanie. I'll see you, love. Take care.
And I will say that I'm a woman-owned small business too. So I got my third-party certification, and I just completed going through the SBA to get it certified through the SBA. So I would tell people, all the contracts that I won, it wasn't because of any certification that I have. So I am a woman-owned small business, but I'm not certified yet by the SBA. So if you are waiting for a certification, I wouldn't let that stop you for still trying to get contracts, because I've gotten contracts, and the only certification that I have is that I'm a small business. So
there you go. Good stuff. Very well said. Thank you.
All right. Nothing else. I'm gonna hop off. I'll be still down in the comments.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Thanks. Yeah. When you get in comments, drop your LinkedIn for people to connect with you on there as well.
Okay. We'll do.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.
All right. Good stuff, everyone. That's why we come out here and do this, right? 73 people watching. Make sure we hit the like button. Great conversation. If you want to come up, like I said, Maria says I've not won a contract with my certifications either. They do not matter. So don't let certifications hold you back from starting. By the way, since we are on this topic, let me just share this real quick. So, and we'll bring this up. I'll bring this up probably next week, that the government is changing the process for veterans. So starting right here in January for 2023, the CVE certification is going to be transferred to the Small Business Administration. And so we'll talk more about that in upcoming videos, because like I said, that's something that's big. It's affecting all veterans. And we do believe it's going to help. It's going to improve the process by the SBA managing it. And like she said, we had the same challenges with the Women-Owned Small Business Program and the third-party certification. So that now going through the SBA, it looks like the SBA has been managing all certifications. So that is, bomb, 2 thumbs up for the SBA. All right. All right. What else? Man, I love it. I love it. Anybody's going to come up here and talk, share some thoughts, comments, questions. I'm looking through the questions. Lisa, this is similar to a protege event. Yes, that is correct. Somebody said, I hope you all need installation installers. Willie Cheese Bro, we're going to need everything, right? So we're looking for small business partners. We want to leverage and grow, expand what you're already doing and take and do it, 5 times. Let's do it 5-fold. Let's work together. I mean, one of the things that I say to people, if you've never heard me say this before, I invest in people who invest in me. So regardless of how you feel about, well, I already understand government contracts, I've got experience doing it, I don't need a program, that's fine. But at the same time, when some of the people that actually sign up for our programs just do it just so they can get a call with me, talk with us, and then be part of our network. Like I said, someone today, a new student, I was able to refer them to another student that was winning contracts for staffing for cybersecurity. He told me he wanted to do it. I knew a student that was already just won 3 subcontracts and needed help, and I put them together. So that's the power of having a network, right? Of someone who's, like you said, someone said earlier they watched me for 4 years online. So I'm not going anywhere. You've already seen me for 4 years. I'm going to be here for another 4 years. So we're going to keep basically connecting folks, creating communities, and within communities. So again, we've got the bigger communities, then we're creating smaller communities. And then as you start to win contracts of different sizes and levels, then we can start partnering with you to do deals together. And so that's my hope for everyone out there. That's my dream. And I'm looking forward to all of you at some point in the near future working together in some sort of teaming arrangement, prime subcontract arrangement. Maybe you bring me a deal. I do a lot of deals with students. Right? So Willie says, do I just target what I specialize in, or could I do any construction field? So again, I think someone asked that question earlier. You can do any field. There's no one stopping you from bidding any contract in the government. No one stops you. It just doesn't necessarily make sense. So yes, you can do it, but unless you believe that you have some sort of an advantage, maybe your uncle, your cousin, or somebody has 20 years of experience, maybe your brother was a cybersecurity guy for the military, unless you believe that you have some sort of advantage, right? Maybe you've done project management, maybe you've worked on these kind of oil rigs, maybe you've ran boats. My guy Mike that sells airplane parts, he's a pilot. So unless you feel like you have some sort of advantage or over the other people that's doing it, it's going to be hard for you to consistently win. And so what I don't want for the 77 people that are watching me and for the hundreds or thousands that will watch later, I don't want you to have burnout. That's my fear. My fear is that you're going to have burnout and then you're going to say this doesn't work. I need you successful. I don't even want to say I want you. I need you to be successful. There is a 32% reduction in the amount of contracts going to small businesses, 40% fewer small businesses winning contracts, 29% fewer small businesses, minority contracts entering this marketplace. I need you to win. That's why I do this. This is why we do this. We want to work with you. We want to work with you guys. We want you to partner with us. We want you to partner with other students. Hello, I have a student that brought me a $43 million contract. Someone like you out here. And by the way, anybody else out there has any contracts, 5, 10, 20 million they want to bring to us, call me, call Maria, call the number on the screen, please. We have a student that he called me And he said, Eric, my company was a small business. They are now a large business. They cannot compete on the recompete of this 5-year contract for $43 million. We're looking for a partner that we can trust. I got the phone call. Eric, I just won 3 subcontract agreements with this really, really large contracting firm, let's say Raytheon, and I got to supply 22 guys. Who should I talk to? These are the calls that we get. Eric, I've got this large business that wants to get into government contracting. They do several $100 million a year. I get the call. Eric, I got this company that does facilities maintenance. They're a $500 million company. They want to grow to $1 billion. They're looking for support. We get the call. So what I'm saying is that how are you going to be able to align with people like us and the people in our groups? And as again, I'm not telling these people to write this stuff. You see, they're writing. I'm not telling them to write this. They're writing it. I'm not telling them to write it. Welcome, Alan. ARW Detailing, Enterprise Solutions, Automotive Cleaning Analysis. There you go. All right. 83 people watching. Make sure you hit the like button. There's a ton of work for dump trucks out there. Certifications don't matter. My man Tommy out of Connecticut. Love it. That's right. You can work together, Stephanie. With Stephanie, Dr. Keisha. What else? Malcolm says, are you able to talk about tax-exempt certification? So I don't know what you mean about tax-exempt certification. I do know that a lot of our projects, the things that you buy are tax-exempt. However, I will tell you this, Malcolm, before you buy them and you do not, when you submit your bid, you need to ask the question whether or not the products are tax-exempt before you put in your price. Because if you assume they're tax exempt and you don't count that cost, you might just be eating that money. So be careful. Because I've been in situations where the government said, yep, this is tax exempt. You don't have to pay taxes. But I've been in other situations where the government said, nope, this is not tax exempt. And you're like, wait, what do you mean? It's the government. They say yes. And certain sub-agency says that tax exemption applies to us, not outside contractors. So depending upon who you get that's in charge of that contract, you have to be careful because it may just not be tax exempt. And if you didn't put that in your price, you may be losing money. All right. I see a Value Networking community will definitely join at the right time. Going to watch, learn, grow, catch for the next round. Sounds good. Hey, no problem. Like I said, for me, Robert Healy said, where's the event? The event's going to be online. This is going to be a virtual event. I don't have the dates. Randy will give me that information and we'll talk about next go round. All right. What else? Eric, is there any freight brokers here to connect? I have a small fleet of trucking companies. Absolutely. There's a lot of freight brokers to connect with here. In fact, we've got some people in our group that we've been servicing that actually moves freight. And she just partnered up with a $17 million company that does it. So we definitely have folks out here that can support you in that particular industry. Don't forget to go back and watch our videos with Chris Facey and Demetrius Walker. So I got a small contract. I'm looking to turn around and get started. Good. I work at Dynamic Industries, oil rig, and Gulf of Mexico. Hard work is the easy part for me. I love it. My man, Kevin Williams. What's going on, Kevin? All right. Well, look, we're not planning on holding everybody tonight. I'm trying to keep these things down to an hour so I can be efficient. And that way people can actually come back in and watch the aftermath. So I will see everyone back here tomorrow. We're going to go through another bid opportunities week. So we'll see you back here tomorrow as well. And then we'll be back on next week. All right. Greetings, Kevin. By the way, let me just one more thing before I let everybody go. Can everyone here, let's make sure we're connected on LinkedIn. Can we make sure we're all connected on LinkedIn? Please. It's too easy. It's too easy to do. Let's make sure we're all connected on LinkedIn, please, because that's going to be the bridge, right? Even after I'm gone, even after this particular show is over with, let's do that. Can we please do that? All right, please. Someone asked me about where to get started. That's our free course on the back screen. All right, freegovconcourse.com is the site. Like I said, we're looking forward to working with everybody out there. I'm going to drop my LinkedIn in here in the chat, but you should already know it, but it's okay. Hold on. Again, all my stuff starts with eCoffee. But there's my direct LinkedIn. Let's get up to I want to get up to 15,000 on LinkedIn. Kevin Williams says hit the like button before you leave. That's your way of saying thanks. Since none of y'all paid me tonight, no problem. All right. What else? Kevin, I would be back, brother. I'm looking forward to you coming up to the stage one of these days and sharing all of your insights. All right. I know you be in the chat, but maybe you go, one of these nights, come in, go to some place quiet, where we got some good lighting, and then jump up here on the stage with me. Yes. So make sure you connect with us, please, over here. What else? Anything else? All right. Good stuff. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.